Okay, YouTube, this is Bibles, Beans, and Bullets, and wanted to talk to you today about another method for storing food, and that would be nitrogen packing, and it's an inert gas for storing food in buckets and barrels. This is an alternative to oxygen absorbers. I'm sure you guys have seen these and seen them put in barrels, but if you're doing a lot or working with people who are doing a lot of these, sometimes it's more economical to do the nitrogen packing because of the type of permeability of the buckets and that. You should probably, it's probably a good 5-year lifespan for these, and you could refresh them in 5 years, or of course by then all the weevils are dead and you don't have to worry about that. Okay, for nitrogen packing buckets of, for example, beans or rice or wheat, dry goods that are low moisture, and we're going to do a positive pressure to set these buckets up. So this is some of the equipment that we'll need for that. So this is a compressed gas cylinder of nitrogen. We've got a gauge here set up with a hose and a stainless steel wand, which will, just a tube that will go down in the bucket when we fill it. You may ask, well, why nitrogen? It's in part of the air we breathe, but it's another way of making a low oxygen environment to pack food in, to sustain it and kill weevils or anything like that too. Whether it's a small bucket like this or a bigger bucket or a mini barrel or a full-size barrel, you can do many of these things with this compressed gas. Some of the other tools we'll need for doing this process is a small type hammer for sealing lids on the buckets, and if you need to reopen one, these are pretty handy too. A little bucket tool for prying the hammer down lids, and after we and a wrench if you need to make any adjustments to your gauge. And we've also got a candle and a way to light the candle, because that's how we'll test when the bucket is full. We're just going to start with the smallest bucket. This is a little one that I've had, and this could be for longer storage too, even a smaller amount, even if it's spices. This is I believe they call this a super lid, but this is a different type of ratcheting spin-on lid. So I'm not going to need the hammer for that one. And inside of it I've got some anasazi beans, and so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fill nitrogen pack this little bucket. Light the candle. We're gonna displace the oxygen. Hopefully we'll have a low oxygen environment. You'll do this in an area that has you don't want fans on or it to be windy, or you won't succeed with this. So I'm going to crack this valve open, and we will make an adjustment here. We'll slowly fill this bucket. Let's give it a little more. Maybe I've got a little too much volume going in there. So it just takes a very small amount of flow. And let's see if we can relight this. Oh, it is displaced. And what you do is pull the candle out, of course, and carefully put your lid on, and you're done. I just want to show how easy it is no matter what size of container you're using. So we'll try it in this 6-gallon bucket, and I've got a hammer-on lid. We'll put that on after, and I've got some white winter wheat here, and so we'll light this candle and we'll try it again. And there really isn't much gas or air in this, because this is really small grain and there's not much room for air in it. So that's why this is such a neat method for doing lots of storage or if you're helping other people do it. So we'll turn the gas on, the nitrogen. We'll just turn it on a low flow. Okay, and I've just got it barely cracked open, so this, and don't breathe on the candle and make it go out. But so some of you are wondering maybe why I'm even taking time to do this, and there's a Bible verse, Proverbs 22:3, and it says, "The prudent man sees trouble coming and avoids it, but the fool rushes on into it and suffers for it." And that word prudent means, in the original language, it means prudent, it means savvy, it means wily, it means cagey. You know, it's someone that understands, has wisdom about what's going on around them. And so this is one way to mitigate risk in lean manufacturing and ready to market type of businesses, and that's how our grocery stores are set up, for one example. So this is just a way of hedging and storing a little extra. When I was a kid, I used to go to my aunt and uncle's garden, which was about an acre, and they would can and dry food and store food and for the entire year. And so I've kind of taken up that habit because I feel it's prudent. So I'm going to open this a little more. You see it's starting to go out, and sometimes you might need to just pull the wand up just a little bit. Oh, and there we go. So we've displaced the air in the bucket, so now it's a low oxygen environment. And just for testing, just to show you, let this match, and we'll just try and relight the candle and see if it'll light. So after you've done a couple of buckets, you'll have the valve set up properly, and you'll see that but even moving your hand in it can kind of stir the air. So we'll see. So I've kind of fanned it, unfortunately, just to keep showing the example of it, but it's really displaced. There's not oxygen in there to take care of it. So we'll pull this out. We're done. And that's still running, so what I'll do, another little way to do it, you can set the candle off center and kind of hold the lid over it to still the air, and then you'll watch it go out, and then you can just slide the bucket lid right over. Okay, so we'll hammer on this lid and we'll be done with this bucket. I want to show you the largest container I like to use, and this is a 17-gallon food grade mini barrel, and it has a it's got a snap ring that'll clamp down on the outside of it, and it's got a gasket in the lid, and these are really nice little barrels that we picked up. And the reason this is the largest that I like to use is this is white winter wheat, and this barrel weighs about 125 pounds. So that's way too much for one person to be manhandling. So what we're going to do is show you how to fill this barrel as well, and a little trick so you know what all the each of your barrels that all look alike and all your buckets that all look alike is you can take and cut the nameplate off the the bag, and you set it hanging out of the barrel like so, and when you clamp the lid on, and then you know what's in it. So it's another way. I've actually written them on the ring, but if you reuse the barrel for something else, then you're not going to know. So to avoid confusion, that's just a simple way to do it. So we'll go ahead and fill this one. Show you how easy that one is as well. So set the candle back in. We'll just go ahead and light this first. Put the wand in. Deeper barrel, so that's how long the wand needs, however deep your container is going to be. And so we'll slowly fill that again. Slowly open the valve to a low setting, and fill this up. Again, not much air in it. We'll wait for it to go out. I usually like to fill them as slowly as I can to really let all the air get out. And there is one other tip, but I'm kind of torn about it, and that is you set the barrel with your grain in it outside in the sun for an hour or two, and it heats it up, and then what you're putting in is a cold gas then from the compressed gas cylinder, and it'll displace that hotter, lighter air. But I'm a little torn about it as far as that can also make it sweat, and I don't want moisture getting out in my grain and causing it to. So I know this is kind of redundant, but I wanted to show you that it really is displacing the air. And so we'll even lower this a little and to where it's barely flowing. Let's see if we can relight the candle. No. So now you pull the candle out, let a little bit of that extra nitrogen flow. It's not going to hurt anything at all. And I'm slowly doing this because I don't want to fan air back into the bucket. So turn your valve off. I'll put it in the ring. That way I'm not compromising the gasket inside the lid. So there you have it, nitrogen packing. It's really easy to do, and you know, you do have that initial cost up front of renting or purchasing the compressed gas cylinder and the gauge. You know, that can run about $75 or so, but you know, once you have that initial cost in, it'll store really forever, and it's really good for if you're helping other people or doing a lot yourself. So haven't done that much, but this is actually a friend of mine's, and so we've done some of this together. So I just want to recommend that to you, and if you have any questions, just you can get a hold of me at biblesbeansbullets.com, and thank you.